What's up, YouTube? It's Ryan with the MXG channel. I'm back, and first of all, I want to just say sorry I haven't been able to provide you guys more information about the TBI and the new models, but I'm going to kind of tell you why and try to put into words what it felt like to ride those bikes. So I got to ride those bikes. It's been a couple weeks ago now, and down at Moto 40, and guys, as soon as I got back from that trip, I literally got these videos edited, uploaded, and scheduled to publish, and I got sick. I thought, man, surely I don't have COVID again. I just had it in February, and then the rest of my house got sick, including my 4-week-old infant, who ended up in the ER with COVID. So that's kind of where my delay's been. So you guys that have been commenting on these riding videos saying, you know, I really wish you'd make videos going into more detail. I've been trying. I'm still not feeling back to my normal self, and it's been, I don't know, it's been like 9 or 10 days, and this thing is just dragging out. Last time I had this in February, the symptoms were worse, but it drug out like 16 or 17 days before I was starting to feel normal. So definitely appreciate all your all's prayers and vibes for the family. So all right, so the TBI bikes though, let's talk about those a little bit. I also want this video to be a chance for, if you guys have any specific questions, just put them down in the comments of this video, and I will make a follow-up video answering those questions specifically about the TBI or the new models or anything like that. So let's just talk about a little bit overall about how the TBI models felt. So first of all, I did not get to ride. You guys have noticed all these rides were on the intermediate track at Moto 40. If you've been to Moto 40, you know that the intermediate track is more of like a beginner track. And the advanced track is really more of like an intermediate track. It's got a couple big jumps that are optional. But I guess because the name advanced track scared the KTM a little bit, they didn't want anybody on the advanced track except for Reed was riding it, Marvin was riding it, Barsha was riding it, those guys. But all the demos were on the beginner track and the intermediate track. I'd never even rode the intermediate track before because it was so full of kids when I was there practicing back in the winter that there just wasn't enough room. So anyway, that's the track we got to ride on. So I go out on the intermediate track on the Husky TC 250 first, trying to experience this TBI, but also trying to learn the track because I'd never been out. And you get about 2 or 3 laps on each bike. Let me also say that I didn't get to ride the 300SX. Guys, that was, you go to these KTM demos and there's always that one bike, that's new. I went to a beta demo once, and it was the 200RR had just come out, and the line for that bike was like 15, 20 people long all day, and that's kind of how the 300SX was on this day. And I didn't really want to ride it off the bat anyway until I had at least learned the track. So I hopped on the Husky TC 250 because there was a lot of guys in line for the KTM 250, but nobody for the Husky. It's really weird. So I hopped on that, and let me tell you guys, for you guys skeptical about the TBI, I was skeptical not about the overall possibilities from TBI, but about these pre-production TBI bikes. Because if you watch the media day information from Redbud, they basically say that the bikes felt a little bit flat or this, that, there, and they kept telling us in those videos, they kept saying, hey, these are pre-production bikes, the mapping's not dialed in yet, the mapping's going to be changed, all that stuff. So I'm thinking, well, these are probably the same bikes, and they're probably not going to run like they will when the production bikes come out. And that still could be the case. I didn't get an answer to that, but these bikes ran great, guys. The best way I can describe the TBI is like riding a perfectly jetted carburetor, but even a perfectly jetted carburetor has those you know, you can feel the power band more so than you can in a TPI or something like that. You can feel it kind of coming on and peaking. This TBI setup is like a perfectly jetted carburetor that's smooth all the way through. So another way I could describe it is, most of you guys have probably ridden the TPI, the transfer port injection bikes. It feels exactly like that, except way more hit, way more pop, way more grunt. It's pretty amazing, guys. I expected it. I don't know if I expected it to be weaker on the bottom, but the way you can ride these bikes, it's way more like a 4-stroke. There were some jumps that I would be barely even cracking I'd barely have the throttle cracked. I'd be in the slowest part of the gear to where I felt like it was going to stall, and it would still carry me over jumps. It was pretty great. You have to adjust your riding a little bit, but it's amazing. There was no place in the power band that I could find hiccups, hesitation, not down low. If I was a gear or two too high coming out of a corner, I mean, it didn't rip your arms off, but I couldn't get it to bog. I couldn't get any kind of anything like that. There's also a really long straight stretch. You come out of a 180 degree corner and you're in first or second, depending on the bike you're in, and you can just roll on it for, I don't know, over 100 yards it seemed like, and you finish up into this tiny double into this left. And I could not find, I would come around that corner in second and shift to third, could not find the top of the gear.
Top of the gear, guys. It's nuts.
I could not get the bike to rev out. It was really weird. I don't know, it felt really cool. So I am a big fan of the TBI, guys. All the bikes started flawlessly, idled flawlessly. The only bike all day that wouldn't idle was the Gas 125, which is a carbureted bike. It was annoying everybody because if you let off the gas, it would shut off. But the TBI bikes are absolutely amazing. So if you've been on the fence, don't be. Your mind will be changed when you ride one, and the production bikes might even be better. Now let's talk about TBI on the trails a little bit. Because I rode a couple of these bikes on the moto track, then you get to the trails, it's a whole different thing. And the trail system was kind of the same. I'd never been on it before, so like I'm trying to learn the trails while also soaking in what the bike's doing and what the bike feels like, while also trying to put that into words on camera. A couple of the videos, I got some thoughts on the camera, but it was really tough, guys. It was 100 degrees almost. I'm on new trails, I'm on new bikes, and I'm not on one for very long, so it's just really tough to put a lot of things into words, but still soak up what the bike was doing too. So yeah, the TBI was amazing on the trails. It was fantastic, but for my type of trail riding, sometimes I would get on the TPI bikes and I'd be like, okay, I remember why I like TPI, because it was that much smoother and less twitchier. It was kind of refreshing in a way. So, I think if you're racing cross country, if you're racing GNCC, if you're racing that more open, fast paced, where you need that twitchy, powerful motocross bike feel, you're gonna love the TBI. If you're just single tracking, if you're just riding, you might like the TPI better. It's just so smooth. It doesn't wear you out. There's no mixing gas. I know a lot of you guys are fans of mixing gas. To me, it's just one more thing I don't want to bother with. So I kind of like the TPI. Don't get me wrong, the TBI did great on trails, but the TPI, it's got its place too. So we're all pretty anxious and excited to see what KTM does with the TPI next year. So that's kind of the TPI thoughts, guys. If you want to leave me any direct questions in the comments here in the next couple days, I'll make a follow-up video and I'll just go through and answer your questions. So yeah, appreciate all you guys watching. Appreciate your support in the channel. If you want to support me, you can buy your parts from AOMC. You can hit the red subscribe. You can hit that Yamaha blue join button. And I'll see you all in the next video.